Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another edition, a fine edition of the Drive-In Talk podcast with myself, Rob Lewis, Scott Evans, and we have got a very cool guest this week. We've got none other than three-time Mazda MX5 champion, one in Miata Trophy, two in Supercup. Mr. Aiden Hills is on the show.
Hello, everyone.
Welcome along.
Thanks for having me, boys.
Great to have you down. You've been a busy boy lately, haven't you?
Yeah, for about the last 4 years, I think.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's got mad the last 2-3 months this year. It's rocketed with business and just racing. I think we're in the middle of 7 race weekends in a row with the team. So yeah, it's been hard work, to be honest. And a lot of the cars are out for both championships. So it's like, you know, we're at Brands 2 weeks ago and Alton at the weekend, and 4 of those cars had to get turned around in 4 days to go back and like re-prepped and everything. So
That's an effort and a half.
it's hard work, man. Yeah, but it was all right. Yeah, we've got it all sorted, and we're on the home stretch now. We've got one more weekend and then a couple of week break. So. Yeah.
So the missus will actually be able to see you at some point on the weekend.
Yeah, I don't know if she wants to or not. To be fair to Annie, she did come along to Brands a couple of weeks when I was racing, and she enjoys coming when it's local at Brands. You know, she's not going to come to Anglesey or Cadwell, but
Knockhill.
then we don't really want to go there anyway, do we? So she come along to Brands anyway. She comes when she can, but we've literally only seen each other Monday to Wednesday for the last 5-6 weeks, so it's been hard work, but that's the job, isn't it? So
it is, and I say you've been a busy boy, but the way I see it, it's a culmination of a lot of success and a lot of hard graft. But you go right back to the beginning. You come from a racing dynasty, going back to your grandfather, right? So how did it all start with your grandfather?
Yeah, so Grandad used to race. I think he had a Mark 1 Cortina,
proper car.
Yeah. And back in those days, there wasn't much club racing as such. So it was a lot of like track days as we know it, but they were more competitive. So time trials and stuff.
Okay.
So he did that. Also did short oval racing and banger racing, as a lot of people did, right? And have done. Yeah. So that's, him and his brothers did a fair bit of racing. So then my dad then progressed into it. I think he built his first car for the old Angmering Oval, if you two know about that. Yeah. So he built his first car when he was 15 or something like that, and went and raced that with a built car that he built himself. And then, so I grew up at a racetrack and in a workshop with race cars and stuff. So my dad raced Legends for on and off 6-7 years. Okay. So my first memory of being at a racetrack is going to be like Mallory Park at 3 years old, you know, and being at Brands in the paddock with all of my mates. And I grew up with Bobby and Aaron Thompson. So their dads were racing, and my dad and their dads were teammates. So we just used to, you know, play around on our push bikes every weekend in a Legends paddock, you know. So
I mean, it just goes to show that motorsport really is one of the smallest worlds.
Yeah.
Everyone knows everyone, and even the big stars at top. You know, mentioned some of that. Bobby Thompson. Yeah, he's now going around the world doing all sorts. But British touring car winner. Very good in his craft, VW Cup champion, wasn't he?
Yep.
So, you know, it just goes to show how small these paddocks are. But the one thing in common is everyone's a champion.
Yeah, it does help. Yeah,
it does. And your father then raced as well.
Yeah. So that was what I was saying. My dad was racing Legends, so that was my dad. And he was pretty good, you know, but he never really. Because he had a young family and a business to run, he didn't put the effort into the racing as much as like we have for my career, and he's put into my career. So he used to just rock up, no testing, Saturday morning, 3 laps of practice to a track he's never been to, and you know, with Legends it's random draw, so he could be on pole for the first heat. You know, so he's like, well, I'll have to learn it now then. You know, and that's how a lot of them used to do it though, right? Because they all had families and stuff, and a lot of people don't now, but there wasn't much testing and. He just rock up and race, and he did really well. He was good. He was leading the championship once, and had quite a famous crash at Mallory where he ended up outside the track.
Wow.
And
Where?
Yeah, so before they built the catch fence on the exit of turn 2, this like little chicane, caught wheels with someone, and obviously in Legends, if you catch wheels, you roll, you go. Right? And I'll send you the photos after, but he basically rolled over the fence and landed in the crowd.
Wow.
So they built a massive fence, and the crash was so bad, his hub and his wheel landed in the garden of the house that's on the road near Croft.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Wow.
So there's a massive shunt. And I've got a feeling someone like Tony Jardine was there doing a guest round. And on the next, because was he the guy that used to present Formula One program?
Yeah, when ITV
he actually gave my dad a shout out on the F1 program. Saying,
Did he?
Yeah.
Wow.
The next week when he was on the F1 program, gave my dad a shout out. So he's always said he's the most famous Legends driver ever because he got shouted out on. Do
you know what?
Program. Yeah.
There's a few of those old F1 episodes up on YouTube. We're gonna have to go hunting for that.
Definitely, yeah. But he had a massive shunt, and that's sort of when he was battling for a championship, and that I think he always said he wasn't ashamed after that. So he raced, up until 2004 it would have been, and then Paul Thompson bought Bobby a go-kart,
right?
And that then persuaded my dad to get me into karting. We tried motocross, but I had a big crash when I was about 7 and didn't fancy getting back on the bike. So
don't blame you.
4 wheels was a bit better. So yeah, I started karting when I was about 9 was my first ever race, and that was with Bob. Yeah.
And then your career starts in karting, and how does that get on? Because you won a British Open championship, didn't you?
Yeah. So I'll be honest, I wasn't one of these lads that jumped in and was rapid straight away. I was sort of. A lot of it was I raced because Bobby was doing it and he was one of my mates, and my dad wanted me to do it, and I wasn't that overly bothered at the time. You sort of at 9 years old, you don't really know what you want to do, right? I just wanted to have fun. So the first few months I wasn't very good, but we didn't have very good equipment. And then at the end of that first season, I think I came second in the rookie championship, which isn't that bad, but I was a long way off the right pace. And then the year after was the first season, so it would have been 2006. Was the first season where Honda Cadet was put into a British Championship.
Okay.
So we decided to do that as to try and bring me on. Well, Dad decided to do it, and excuse me, and Alex Albon was doing it as well.
Wow.
So that was he was obviously very good, and that was my first proper year of racing properly, full season, and I went from being quite average to winning races by the end of the year. I came 8th in that season, which Albon won, and then the year after we done. Super One again, but only done a few rounds, but done the O Plate, which is a British Open Championship at PF, and won it. So that was pretty cool. Yeah, so won an O Plate in my 2nd or 3rd year racing. Alex Albon came 3rd, so that's always a nice claim to fame.
There you go.
I mean, I might have only ever beaten him in one race, but it was quite a big weekend. So that was cool to win a national championship at 11 years old, you know. But then the budgets from cadet, when you go into Rotax stuff, the budgets go from 10 grand a year to most people are spending north of 50, and we're not rich family. We don't come from that sort of budget, so it was tricky to then go and compete in the next level. I won some club championships at Buckmore Park and at Lyd, but most of my time karting was just spent chasing equipment, not having not having the best kit, but always doing really well and overperforming, in my opinion. So
there's just no substitute for that at that level, is there?
No. And the lads are out. I was teammates with Jack Aitken at the time, and he was out 3 times a week and getting. I don't know if he might have even been. I think at one point he was even helicopter into tracks and stuff like that. And
wow,
it's wild. Yeah, I think he had his exams on at one weekend, so he's doing his exams and coming up to the track, going back to doing exams and stuff like that. Whereas it's testing all the time, out in karts every week, and we just couldn't compete with that, right? Yeah. And we only had a chassis that we had for 18 months, and these lads are getting new chassis every 3-4 weeks. So
good Lord.
We decided when I got to 14 that, look, karting is really good for teaching you how to race, teaching you racecraft, but we're not going to have the budget to go and do proper karting.
Yeah.
So let's go and find something else. Went to the auto sports show when it was good.
Yeah.
When it was on and wasn't selling second-hand leather handbags and shit.
Yeah. Went to the auto sports show, looked around for what Junior's about. Obviously, we had Junior Ginetta, which was miles out of budget.
Yeah.
Junior Fiestas, which first was that when it first started. And I think we were looking at that. And it was the first year of the Junior RallyCross.
Okay.
So we were in the... my family are in the motor trade anyway, so...
Yeah.
We're always going to be in a position where we can build a car, run a car on a shoestring compared to having to run it with a team, right? And that's obviously where Hills Motorsport came from eventually.
Yep.
So my dad bought a road Fiesta and a road Suzuki Swift damaged off of Copart, ready to build one or the other, right?
Okay.
I committed that I said I wanted to do Fiestas, went and done a test day with Pete Gwynn in the Junior RallyCross at Lyddon.
Yeah.
And after the first session, I was like, this is for me.
You like going sideways?
This is the bollocks, right? As a 14-year-old, you're turning the wheel so much, learning how to catch slides, and it was the best day I've had in a car, and I had an instructor in the day that Paul that day who taught me so much in the first 3-4 days in a car with him, and I decided that first test at Lyddon was like, right, let's do rallycross. This is amazing. So Dad literally signed up. We signed up for the championship, sold all the karting kit, and then we're like, let's go. Let's get into rallycross. Built the car. I helped building the car, so I would have been just turned 15. Yeah. So me and my dad, although he won't agree with me, I was helping build the car. But he did a lot of work getting it ready for the first round. So no testing, rocked up to the first ever race in a car at Aiden Hill. Didn't expect there to be 20,000 people there either. British RallyCross had quite a following back in 2011. It was a massive championship, right?
Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah.
So it was live on Motors TV, my first ever race. I couldn't even change gear, man. I couldn't even use a clutch. I've been practicing at the Angmering Oval, trying to do starts.
I could well have been spectating there because I think I went there around that time. Yeah. And there was for some reason I can remember the Swifts had massive grids and the Junior RallyCross, huge grids. And I think a load of the Belgians and that would come over as well, and the French would come over and do the supercars. And there was a monster shunt when I think Liam Duran had a big one. Yeah. And it was Citroen C4. So you'd have probably been there. And
so that race, I was on the dummy grid. For my first ever final, I was stood watching the supercars. Liam Duran's obviously my hero when you're in rallycross at 14. And I've seen him pick a wheel and roll into the barriers. I'm like, shit, I've got to get in a car and race now. And
I was sat in the stand watching that.
That was my first ever race, mate.
Good God.
And it is a small world, right? Motorsport is a small world. That was my first ever race. Live on Motors TV, couldn't even use a clutch.
But we had Max Watt on a few months, actually before Christmas.
Yeah, December.
Yeah, December. He came up through junior and doing rallycross as well. Yeah. Is there something about rallycross that just gives that little bit of extra, puts that bit extra in your armoury for your driving further in your career?
I think it just gives you so much belief in yourself, right? Because I've been in some massive angles in rallycross where the car comes back and you're racing on dirt. And when you're doing it from a young age, it just becomes second nature. Mm-hmm. So whenever there's a wet race now, even now, 15 years later, I still feel like, I'll be all right, you know? And Tom Ovenden comes from rallycross family. I raced against his dad. That's how old I'm getting. So I raced against Tom Ovenden's dad, and he's obviously flying with minis. Won it last year and doing really well. And his brother Will's still in rallycross, and his dad's still in rallycross.
He's flying in a Polo now, isn't he?
Yeah, that's it. Yeah. So if I was to say I had a kid and he wanted to, or she wanted to get into racing, I would try and do the same route that we've done. Do a little bit of karting. Don't take it too seriously because realistically you could end up spending millions. Yeah. Not that we would have it, but you could spend millions to not get very far.
You've got to be fully committed. That you got to expect essentially that you're not going to make it. You're going to spend millions of pounds and probably won't make it.
So and make sure you enjoy it doing it.
Yeah. You've got to enjoy it, man. And that's basically where we stem from going to rallycross. You can afford it. Most normal people could afford to race rallycross, right? It's not. You can't go testing every week because none of the tracks are open. No one wants the dirt all over the track. None of the tracks are open to go testing. You're not competing against the lads like junior Ginetta lads who go and do 30, 40 days pre-season testing. In junior rallycross, all of us, the first season, no one's cars were even finished because it was such a late thing to start. All of us just rocked up to the first round and that was it, right? We were 14, 15 years old, just racing a car for the first time.
Send the kids out.
Yeah, some of them done minis the year before, but most people just, you're not competing with ridiculous money and really rich families. So
it's good when you've got that when you're putting your kids out, you don't know if your kids are going to enjoy it. So you put them out and it's not going to cost you an absolute fortune for them to go, I don't like it.
And you can also afford to crash one, right? Especially a Swift. I mean, you don't want to, no one wants to have one, but it's not going to break the bank having a big shunt. Whereas if you're in a Ginetta, it's another 30 grand, 30, 40 grand in it. But if you have a big one, and most of these lads in junior Ginetta now have all got 2 cars.
And like you said, though, you can go and get the car from Copart, from Silver Lake, from anyone like that. I mean, exactly. I think I went through 8 minis. Even from the time I raced from 12, 13 till I was 18. Yeah. It was like 8 minis.
I think I went for a few shells.
Yeah. But you learned. And how long was it you were doing the rallycross in the end?
So on and off, it would have been 2011 to 2016. I'd done a year of juniors in my first season and won the championship in my first year. So that was really cool to be. It's a proper British championship as well. So British Motorsport UK backed championship. So
were you mates as well with them drivers that you're racing against at that young age? Because you're coming to that. It's all right when you're a little bit younger, but when you get a little bit older,
And the competition head really sets in.
The testosterone starts to come in.
I struggle being friends with anyone I race with, to be honest. I always have. I was mates with people, but as soon as you get on track with them, it's a different thing. And if I have to fall out of them, I have to fall out of them. It sounds wrong, but yeah, I've had many an argument, as I'm sure all of us have racing.
I think any successful championship winning racing driver will have the same mentality as that, though.
Yep.
Yeah. You have to have that selfishness about you.
Yeah, so to answer the question, I wasn't mates with him, no. And yeah, I mean, I'd probably be friends with him now if I saw them, but during that season, no, not really. And the same with any time I've raced, even when I won the Mazda Championships. Although the first year I won it, one of my teammates came second, so I had to be friends with him because he was also a customer. But the year after, I had quite a good rivalry with Pat Fletcher, and we definitely weren't friends. And we're probably not that close friends now.
But what was the transition then from rallycross? Was it just it came to a natural end for you and you wanted to go into circuit racing?
With rallycross, there was a big gulf between doing Suzuki Swifts and the next step in budget was massive. So we done the juniors for 11 and half of 2012, and then as soon as I turned 16, we bought a senior car, and I started doing seniors at 16 against obviously proper adults and proper drivers.
Yeah.
And had a big crash in my first ever race at Mallory, which put us out probably for a while because we had to reshell the car and stuff. So that put me out until I don't think I went back to it really. I went back to it a little bit in 2013, and then ended up we just decided that we repaired the car and it wasn't as good when we repaired it. So my dad's mum, my gran, became ill. So my dad and my granddad had their business together. So my dad had to take over more at work, so the racing stopped for 2 years. So all of basically end of 2013 didn't race at all in 2014, and then went back to it halfway through 2015 in the senior Swifts, and with a new car, and rocked up to the first round and came second. So I was really happy to be straight on the pace, and then won some races that year, and tried to go and win the championship in 2016, but just luck wasn't right on our side. Had an engine blow up, drive shafts break in positions of winning finals, and that effectively cost me a championship. So I lost that championship to Nathan Heathcote, who ended up doing supercars the year after and actually won the British Championship in supercars, and then went and done Ginettas after that as well. So, and I raced karts with him previously, so that was quite cool. But yeah, he was really quick. But yeah, 2016 we were like, right, the gulf between now and for us to go and do supercars is too expensive.
Yeah.
And if you're not doing supercars in the UK,
what are you doing?
What's the point in doing rallycross, really? Swifts was good. The grids were still good, but I didn't feel like I needed to do it anymore. Super National was okay. There wasn't really a Super 1600 class over here. So we looked at doing... we looked at circuit racing. So we went to look at Legends, which at the time was still running the Yamaha 1250. And my dad was like, look, the whole time they're running them engines, I don't want to be involved. He said, I've done that enough when I was racing, and they're just a pain in the ass. They go wrong. So that stopped that. We went to look at pickups as well.
Okay.
And I really liked the look of pickups, but it was just the part engines and that quite expensive. You know, they're probably 10 grand for an engine if you blow one up.
That was probably when you were doing it.
I think they're a bit more than that now.
They're a lot of money, right?
Yeah, big time.
Yeah, and they're a cool car, and I really fancy doing it. And we've got close family friendship with Dave Longhurst, so he runs a lot of pickups.
Oval legend.
Yeah, exactly.
Proper oval legend.
Absolute legend.
He was a man when I was growing up.
Yeah, he's still the man now. He was setting our Swift up and stuff, and was trying to get us. We were looking at pickups because he's well involved with pickups. But it was probably a little bit too expensive. And at the time for work, we weren't buying and selling cars as much. We were breaking Mazda MX5s. So it was like, let's go and look at MX5 Supercup, right? So we went to look at MX5 Supercup at Silverstone, the last round. That would have been 2016. And 4 or 5 cars battling for a win, slipstreaming, overtaking each other. And I was like, that's what I want to do.
Yeah.
So we bought a car off Copart, damaged, and built it in 4 weeks, I think. We fully decided we were going to do it about February time. Stripped it down, built it, and got ready for the first round in 2017. But that was a proper baptism of fire, because I was like, I'll be all right. You know, I've come from rallycross, I've won everything. be sweet. What this is just MX5s. It'll be easy, and it wasn't. It certainly wasn't. No.
But going into it, because there's a lot of people that think that about what make racing when they do other formulas. I'll be quite open and honest. The racing I do is very mixed class, anything from big bangers, turbocharged. I know if I go into a single make car, it's going to be a baptism of fire. What is it from going into something like the Supercup? What do you need to be towards the sharp end?
Mate, it was it was a proper So I rocked up at Brands. I'd never even driven any circuits before. So I don't know what the ego inside of me was thinking. I'll be all right. I'll be in the front 5, right? We had just guessed at the setup. We didn't even know how to set it up. But to be at the front of the championship like that, experience, right? You need to have a team behind you that knows what they're doing. You need to know the car. You've got to know the car. There's every one make series. Most drivers probably be able to get within half a second of the front boys, but finding that last half a second, there'll be some weird niche driving style that car desires and needs, and you won't find it. Sometimes people don't find it, So for us to get to the front was just time, effort. We put loads and loads into setting the car up, changing stuff, and just testing, trying stuff, and then we got there in the end, obviously. But that first race at Brands, man, I was like a second off, which doesn't sound too bad, but that put me like 20th.
Yeah, in Supercup, it's the margins are that fine.
There was 44 cars entered for that first race in 2017. There was a B race, and on the entry list, Scott Woodwist would have been doing the PR stuff for the BRSCC then. There was 14 champions, including myself from RallyCross. There was 14 different champions, right? So
I'm just thinking back, so some of the names that went through that championship and went on, off the top of my head, Abby Eaton, yourself, everyone just goes off into GTs and stuff like that. So it's a breeding ground
James
for
Kell, doing GT World Challenge now, isn't he? He's probably the biggest name that's come from it and gone into race. And Abby, of course. James Blake Baldwin went and done Ginetta's, and then came back to Mazda's because he preferred the racing, But there were some big names that year, like Luke Herbert, who previously won the championship. He was back. Rob Boston was in for a season. Jack Harden, Tom Roach was in it. So there are 4 or 5 people there who were used to winning championships and being at the front, right? So I don't know why I expected to be at the front, but anyway, we weren't. It took me a while. I got to the top 10 in my second round at Cadwell. The second round, race 6 of the season, I was in the top 10, and then I pretty much stayed there for the rest of the year. And we got close to some top 5s, but mostly was 6th to 10th for the whole season. And then that winter is when the hard work really started. We pushed really hard with getting a new engine sorted, and Dave Longhurst sorted the engine out. We made sure the car was spot on and just done a bit of testing over the winter. Okay. And then rocked up to the first round in 2018 and was on the podium. So, yeah, it worked. Just the graft over the winter, and I was doing loads of research, watching old videos back, because when you can't go testing all the time, you've got to do something right. So I'd be watching at least 1 or 2 onboards a week of me, and if one of my competitors has put a video on YouTube or something, I'd watch that back and take notes and see what they're doing differently. And
is that what you're doing through that season, in your first season, sort of, when you go in, taking notes, just literally just a data download just for yourself? Yeah, well, I did it all myself. Yeah, I was quite lucky. Because Luke Herbert, who won the championship that year and for the 2 years, the next 2 years, he lived relatively near us, and he used to let me use his sim at his house occasionally, and actually helped me with data and coaching a little bit. Yeah. So he helped fast track me a little bit to get to a bit of a faster level.
And it goes back, that experience is invaluable.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah, he done a lot of racing and was helping me out, and then so mostly, like you said, I was just doing as much research as I could, and the taking notes thing is quite crucial to me. On my phone anyway, I just always take notes, and the week before a race, I'll be watching old races back on YouTube, like races from previous years where people are overtaking, where people are going to be fast, trying to see as many onboards as I can, and just research as much as I could, and then that seemed to work. And then like I said, we went into the beginning of 2018 and was on the money. Yeah.
And then obviously you work your way up the grid, and the goal is obviously to win the championship. When was it you knew that it kind of settled with you that I can actually go out and win this?
Yeah, I don't think it ever through that year. I don't think I ever thought I was going to win the championship. I didn't win my first race till round 7, so that was unrealistic. But for going into 2019, I won a couple of races in 2018 and was quick at the end of the year, and that puts you in good stead for the winter.
Yeah,
I went
kind of bounce on that for the winter, don't you?
Exactly. I went into 2019 thinking we've got a good chance here, and then round 1 pole, 2 race wins, and I'm like, right, this is on. And through the whole year, it was me, Jack Hardin, and Luke Herbert. There's 3 races a weekend. Pretty much each of us will win a race each, and then whoever was coming second and third, that's when they're scoring their points for the championship, right? And the races you don't win, the races when you don't win are the ones that win you the championship, not winning the races. And I was having too many 4ths and 5ths, and that probably, I realised that. I got to the end of the year and I was like 20 points off, and I was like,
that's where it's lost.
Yeah, and that year was really disappointing because I thought I was going to have a good chance of winning it, and I ended up 3rd, so I was gutted. And then,
what do you think the reasons were for the 4th and 5th? Were they just the battles you were in, or
I was trying too hard, mate?
Okay.
I was trying way too hard, and if I wasn't winning a race, I'd try a move that's not on, and then I'd end up dropping back. And it took me a while to realise that. I mean, lots of people have commented that they enjoy watching me race because I go for moves that aren't normally on, and like try around the outside. I'll try anything to try and overtake someone. But I definitely calmed down from that now and realise if you want to win a championship, sometimes you can come second.
Yes.
Sometimes you can come 3rd. I still try and win the race, obviously.
Yeah.
you have a crack at it.
I'd always be going, but if it's only a half move, I won't go for it, whereas I would have gone for it back then. A bit younger, I was only 23, 24, so I definitely would have gone for more gaps and more moves. And I think, I've calmed down a lot. And then that's when I started winning championships. But we went away from Mazdas for a couple of years as well, and I think that brought me on a little bit.
Why did you choose to move away for a couple of years?
So we started a team, right? And it was really tricky for me to. I didn't want to race against customers.
Yes.
So in 2020, during COVID, at the end of 2019, going into, I think I became an ARDS instructor in 2019.
Okay.
And was doing all the shit jobs, working for Everyman and that, like sitting in the passenger seat of supercars, and I was like, this ain't for me. I don't want to do this.
I don't want to die.
I don't want to do this. I don't want your Billy next to you like having a shunt, and that wasn't for me. So I got out of that as quick as I could, managed to do my odd stuff somewhere, and managed to get up to a grade A now, which is great. But I decided that I didn't want to sell cars and break MX5s anymore. It's not for me. That I want to do something in motorsport. I want my job to be in racing.
Yeah,
that's what I want to do. So I tried the instructor route. That wasn't for me. So I was like, what else can I do? Dad was like, well, we've got a workshop. If you want to try, we built a second car for my dad.
Yep.
Ended up renting it to a lad that I met on an Everyman instructing job.
Okay.
So that was James Cousins.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So James Cousins, I raced karts for him years ago, but then we re-met on an Everyman job instructing at Aiden Hills.
Yep.
And said that I had a second car, and he was like, I fancy doing some MX5 racing. So that's how Hill Motorsport was born.
Wow.
Yeah. From building my dad a car to race to meeting James and him hiring a car, and that was the end of 2019 at the last round of the Supercup. And then 2020, I rented my car out and that car, and we picked up another customer, which is Declan Lee, and they're 3 customers we still have now. They were the first 3 customers, which is Michael Nibbs, who I raced with in Britcar, James Cousins, who's leading the Miata Trophy, and Declan Lee, who won the Miata Trophy in 2023. They are 3 first customers, and they're all still with us now, which is really cool.
Yeah, and of course, 2020, around that time, chaos, because COVID hits.
Yeah.
And you're just starting this new venture.
To start a business, yeah.
Just as COVID hits, Boris sits there on TV and goes, everyone's stay indoors for about 6 months.
Yeah.
And then you're like, shit, right, everyone go racing again.
Yeah. So
that must have been so scary for yourself.
It was hard. It was really tricky, but I still went to work every day. We just locked the doors. So I actually went in and built a C1.
Okay.
During that time, right? We were like, what can I do with my time here? There's never ever in your life are you probably going to have 4 or 5 months of doing nothing again.
And no one pestering you.
No,
you just get on with it.
Yeah. And so we had the kit for the C1. I had a car, and I was like,
did you see Robin's famous slogan, you can build this for $3.5 grand?
Yeah, well, maybe. But I think I had a C1 at the yard. Anyway, we were like, fuck it. Let's just go and build a car. So we built a C1 during that COVID lockdown. Didn't use it for ages, but we built it. And Declan actually, because he was in the Motorsport UK Academy for him, that was classed as an elite sport.
Okay.
So he could go testing still, because the rules were if you're part of an elite sport, you can still go testing. So we were still going all around the country testing with him, which was great.
And I bet it was dead.
We was like 4 cars, 5 cars on the track, these semi-exclusive days, and we had the track to ourselves basically.
Wow.
I bet it was dirt cheap as well.
No, MSV, nothing's cheap. It was still your 700 quid, and there was only 4 cars there, but we'd be sharing it with GT3 cars, like a little MX5 of a 17-year-old. 4 GT3 cars going around. Yeah.
I've done one like that when you're in one of them and you've got touring cars coming past you. Like, fuck me.
But it's basically, I'm pretty sure it was just us and GT3, GT4 and touring cars that were out testing, because we went up to Croft and done 2 days testing. I was driving all around the country. Obviously there was no traffic either. It was brilliant, actually.
Oh, mate. I remember that was as a
time.
field engineer, I long for the days of COVID, because there was no such thing as a traffic jam. It was glorious.
No, it was lovely. We were having a good time, and thanks to Deck and Vernon, I better say thanks and give them a shout. That actually kept us going, really, and made me realise that this could work out. And then we got racing in August, I think.
Yeah, it was around that time, wasn't it? Sort of midsummer.
Yeah, we started in August, done 4 rounds. James came second in the championship, which was great, in his first proper year racing, so that was really good. And then that winter, we bought a GT5 Ginetta for myself to race. So we had another few customers come in. We had 6 or 7 Mark IIIs that we were running in the Supercup.
Yep.
And then we went and did GT5.
Is that just something? Do these customers because are they coming in via word of mouth? Are you actively going out there trying to get these customers? Are they approaching you?
I don't really advertise much. I'd advertise for you arrive and drive, but people that own their own cars, a lot of it's just results based. Isn't it? Like, at the end of the day, it's a results business, and we have
100%. They're going to look, if you're winning, they want to know why you're winning and can you help them win.
And Mazda's it's quite professional in terms of. There's quite a lot of teams, you know. A lot of club racing is your man just turning up with his own car, and which is great, and which is what I did, right?
Which is where we all start, essentially.
Exactly.
Isn't it, really?
And then,
I still am.
Yeah, exactly. and so many people do that, but in single make stuff where it's really, really competitive, the teams make the difference.
Yes.
I think there's still people that run themselves and get to the front. No issue at all.
Me.
Exactly. Yeah. And I did it as well.
Yeah.
And Luke did it, and a lot of. But Luke actually started a team as well, so both of us started separate teams.
There's a thing happening here.
Yeah. And the teams, I think, make it easy. And a lot of people come from a background now, they want to get into racing, they don't know how. They've got a bit of budget, and they're like, well, I don't even know how to pick up a spanner. How do I go racing? And then, back in the day, they couldn't.
Yeah.
It would cost way too much money. Nowadays, there's however many race weekends on every weekend, however many races on, and there's teams running stuff in that. So a lot of our customers did come from us doing well and having results, and I think I do a lot of the coaching side of it, which was helping and hopefully bringing some of the drivers on. And a lot of the lads just wanted that. They wanted a bit of advice, a bit of coaching, so we just brought them into the awning and ended up running them all full time. They ended up storing the car with us. We ended up prepping it and taking it to and from the tracks, and they just then arrive and drive customers, right? And we do a lot of that now. Most of our business is just that.
I think it helps a lot of people because space is at a premium, time is at a premium. So if they can go to work and they don't have to worry about where the car's going to be and prep it, they can literally turn up and be a racing driver for the race weekend, have their mates there, their family there, and then just go, cheers, see you later.
Yeah, but then you're paying for the expertise as well, right? If
it certainly made me feel better if I knew I had a 3-time champ.
Prepping the car.
Prepping the car, a bit of coaching in there as well. You kind of think, we got the right package here.
Yeah, I think so. It helps. And like at the weekend, we what I'm trying to do this year is I'm not doing any Mazda racing.
Okay.
And I want to try and win the championship without me driving the car, which we're leading both of them. So that's really good so far. So I'm trying to prove that it's not just me that can drive a car. We're actually just a really good team, and we've got great people behind us. And I've got such good lads in the team. Like, we've got coaches in the team like Jack Sycamore and Tom Griffiths, who are both fast drivers, right? They're coming to do the coaching as well as me. I've got Dave Longhurst on board that comes to pretty much every round of us, and you couldn't have a much better engineer than that.
Yes.
And then obviously me and my dad, which help, and some of the mechanics and that. We've got really, really good team, and that I think that shows why we're doing quite well now. It's just we've got good people in. Yeah.
Back to the Ginettas.
Yeah.
How did you find it? Because GT5 was really, really competitive.
Yeah, it was hard, and the cars were shit. Ask anyone who's raced a GT5; they'll tell you it's probably the hardest car you could drive. It was just awful to drive. I come from an MX5, so I'm like rear wheel drive. They look like a similar car. That's going to transition really well. The hardest thing for me was switching getting the slicks in the right window.
Okay.
And just the car was just so hard to drive. And I don't think we ever quite got on top of it. When we finally got on top of it,
what was it doing that made it awkward?
Spinning a lot. I just used to crash and I'd be like, how? I've come from rallycross, I've raced Mazdas. Like, I'm not shit. I don't think I'm shit, but I'm driving this car and I am suddenly really bad. Yeah. It just took a while to get used to it. And a lot of, with GT5, because it's a junior that's been de-restricted with slicks, right? Yep. These lads come from juniors straight into it. So they've got 3-4 years of racing that car. Mm-hmm. And they're spending some serious money and they're bloody good. You know, these kids are fast. Like John Bennett's doing F2 now. Yeah. Doble's doing touring cars. Yeah. Jenkins is doing Porsche Carrera Cup and doing really well. Yep. These are all 3 lads that I raced with in that season I did Ginetta. Yep. So, yeah, they've all gone on to do really good things. So it was so competitive, right? And it was, you think Mazdas is hard, and I went to that and I was like, this is serious, like because the teams are upper level. You know? There's no pop-up awnings in those garages, boys. No. There's no pop-up awnings there. It's big awnings, big lorries. Everyone's got an Arctic, and we're turning up van and trailer like, hello. I'm now the poor one. You know?
And the cars themselves as well, I suppose, because whereas a Mazda MX-5 is effectively a converted road car, right?
Yes.
Whereas a Ginetta is a space framed, it is built purely to go.
It's a race car converted for a road car, isn't it?
Effectively, yeah.
Exactly. Yeah.
So it's completely the opposite. So I guess, is there a lot more adjustment to these cars? The setups are a bit more niche, but
they're actually not, because the Mazda is very, very much over-engineered if you look at it underneath. Like the rear suspension's all independent arms. It's got like 6 suspension arms, adjustable toe and camber. The front's got adjustable camber, caster toe, everything. The Ginetta had fixed springs, so you're not allowed to. You had to run the springs fixed camber because it's just space framed on a chassis. You can't adjust the caster. Sorry. Yeah. They had minimum shims you were allowed for the camber, so everyone was basically running full camber. Yeah, as much. The caster's the caster, and everyone's on the same spring. So the setup wise, it was all done on shocks and roll bar adjustments mainly. Yeah.
Oh wow. Okay.
And you can adjust the camber and the crossway and stuff like that, but the setup wasn't too. I think most people are probably running very similar setups. It was just getting used to slicks, and I'd be fast on a Friday. I hate that saying fast on Friday because I say it to my customers all the time. There's no point being fast on Friday. Be good on Friday on old tyres when everyone has old tyres. We go new slicks for quali, and I haven't tested on new slicks. They've all tested on them the day before. Yeah. So it takes me like 4 or 5 laps to realise how much grip I've got, and then by that point it's too late. You've lost the peak of the tyre. So I'd be qualifying like 8th, 10th. By race 3, when we're all on old tyres, I'd be at the front. Yeah, you know, I had a podium at Donington in the wet.
That comes down to your car control again.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah, it definitely helps. I mean, first time I'd ever driven on wets in a wet track at Donington. And I started 12th and I was 4th coming out the last corner.
It's like driving on slicks on wets, isn't it? It's mega.
Oh, man. I had so much grip on these wet tyres. I'm like, what are you lot doing braking so early? I'm used to running on Avons in the Mazdas, and I've jumped straight on a Michelin wet, and I'm like, fucking hell.
This is amazing.
I can drive on the racing line. This is brilliant. And I ended up, got my first podium, and my only podium, annoyingly. It was the last round of 2021, and then we went into 2022 expecting to do really well. And unfortunately, I just didn't have enough money. So we never done a full season of it. We only ever done.
Well, it's like you said, when you got other teams turning up with Arctics and you're like dad and lad turning up, van and trailer.
We went back to dad and lad, and it was nice. And Dave was coming with us again, and it was just the 3 of us, and we had some nice fun. We had fun weekends, and we done some Toka weekends. Yeah. I had a really good weekend at Fruxton, nearly until I crashed again. And yeah, it was just one of them things. The car was just, we were always unlucky. Yeah. And I hate saying that because you make your own luck, but genuinely it was just unlucky.
Yeah, the thing is, you say you make your own luck, you can, to think you do all the prep and put all the effort in and spend all the hours and check, triple check, and then someone will just fucking break.
And we had something silly, like I was at Donington for the, would have been the first round of BTCC 2022, I think, right? Yeah. And qualified well, like P6. I actually put it on pole, but got done for track limits, so that was annoying. So qualified 6th, was running 3rd in race 1, and the wishbone broke. I was like, how? Well, how? Race 2, I got taken out and put into the wall. Yeah. And then race 3, from that crash, we didn't even look in the boot. The battery had fallen out, so I'd done the green flag lap, and the battery came out. So I'm like,
killed the car.
I've gone from potentially starting on pole to didn't even finish a race. And I was like, you couldn't write it. It was one of them. It was just becoming funny in the end. We're like, and then I had a throttle stuck open in one of the races at Donington.
The thing is, this is motorsport, isn't it?
Yeah.
This is what it does.
Yeah, we had a throttle sticking. After I had that podium in the wet at Donington, the next race I started third, and I was like, brilliant. And then my throttle kept sticking open when I was battling for the lead. So I'm like, it was just one of them cars, one of those 2 years where it wasn't meant to be.
Yeah.
So we went back to Mazdas in 2023, back to my old car. We'd been renting it out since I'd stopped to James Cousins. I was like, right, I'm having my car back. New engine, gearbox, diff, everything. Actually, there's a funny story about the diff. I'll tell you in a minute. And we rocked up to the first round of 2023, and there's 50 cars entered.
Wow.
And we're like, this is where I should be. Everyone's come back to it, right? We've got the last 4 Mark 1 champions are doing the Supercup. You've got Ali doing it. You've got me doing it. James Blake Baldwin, who's won the Supercup previously.
Will Blackwell Chambers
was doing it.
Yeah.
Ollie Allwood.
Yeah.
Fraser Fennick. Some serious names in there. Like people I haven't even mentioned: Tom Griffiths, James Cousins, Pat Fletcher. Like some proper big, decent names of Mazda racing.
It was probably one of those years because I did I just started doing, so I did my debut on the live stream 2022, and I think the first time I met you properly was 23 at one of the rounds.
Yeah, it would have been,
I did the presenting because you were still in your Ginetta overalls.
Yeah.
He did that, did he?
But I could.
That was one of them, yeah.
But it was. But I think it was one of those where you would look at the entry list and think, holy shit. And it was almost like you said, all of those names, and you're thinking, the top 15 could win the championship, let alone the fucking race.
Yeah.
It was so competitive.
It was unbelievable. It was like...
Is that like A and B grids?
Silverstone was okay because...
You can get 60 cars on
Yeah, so we had 49 on the grid at Silverstone, but then from then on end, every single round had reserves.
Wow.
Yeah.
So there was people like doing well in the championship that didn't even get on the grid because they didn't put an entry in time, stuff like that.
Yeah.
A couple of our drivers didn't get into Brands because I think Brands only takes 32.
Yeah.
There's 42 entered.
Jeez.
So like it's 10 people, 10 reserves. I think in the end, because there were so many crashes, I think the lad who was like 7th reserve got a race. It was that bad.
But they were literally they were literally queuing up in the paddock, weren't they?
There were people queued up with their kit on in the assembly area just in case 4 cars car didn't start. They were ready to go. And we had it where it was a red flag and a lad got in the race to do the restart and stuff like that. It was mental. So that first round of 23 was like, right, I know what I need to do to win a championship now. I know I need to be a bit more calm and just score points when I can. The car was perfect. We made sure everything was perfect on the car. I saved myself a low mileage diff and a low mileage gearbox out of a car at the yard. We rushed we got all the customers' cars ready because I think we had 8 cars
it's
out. It's
always
for the first
yours
round.
that gets done last.
We rushed mine, right? I came back. We were like, right, we fitted the diff, put the gearbox in, set it up, took it to the track. Halfway through the first lap of the first Friday test, I was like, what's that whining noise? Back in my head, I'm like, I didn't put any fucking diff oil in.
Why does it leave you right until that point when you're just going around? You've got so much going on. Oh shit! I forgot about that.
I've just got in the car, gone out. I was like, it's a bit whiny going down the back straight at Silverstone. It'll be all right. Got to Abbey, back wheels both lock up. So I'm stuck on the exit of turn one, like the wing, and I'm like, I've saved that perfect diff. So the only diff I had in the lorry was
the wanky old one,
the one that's been in the car for. It done 3 seasons for me and 2 seasons for James Cousins, so it's 5 seasons old. Like, for fuck's sake, man.
There's some slop in that.
So we've got it out of the lorry, whacked it in, and didn't qualify on pole, but won all 3 races first weekend. And then I was like, we'll just leave that diff in there, shall we? I think it might still be in it. You know,
that one's bedded in now.
Yeah, she's nice and loose. Yeah, just spin up a wheel a little bit, but yeah, ended up. I think I qualified 6th actually. Didn't have a great quali, but one race 1, one race 2, reverse grid race 3, won that, and I'm like, okay, we got a good chance this year.
In Ginetta overalls.
In my Ginetta overalls. I still wore them until last year.
Yeah,
showing off, wasn't I?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, it had all the Hills. It had all the Hills Motorsport branding on it.
Expensive suit that was.
Yeah, man.
Couldn't afford a new one. So yeah, that was when I was like, I'm ready to go. Yeah, 3 wins out of 3, and then I won the first 2 at Brands, came second in the 3rd race, and then all by that point, different people were coming second, so I was scoring some serious points.
Yeah,
getting away.
It was that competitive. You stay consistent at the top step or bloody near to the top step, and everyone else was just kind of. But some of the battles over those seasons.
Oh man, that was the best season racing I've ever had, and probably, hopefully not, but might ever have, because it was so competitive. like you said, people in the top 10 are used to winning championships.
Yep.
So you're scrapping with people that are won championships, so they know how to defend, they know how to race, right? And it was so good. And there's a great photo of me on pole at Silverstone, and the whole of the Cop Straight, I don't know what it's actually called, the whole of the Cop Straight is just Mazda MX5s. Yeah, it's unbelievable. Like, it was so good. And then I came away that season, I think I won 16 of the 24 races, which was I did not expect it at all. It was just like, and I wasn't winning races by like 10, 15 seconds. It was by like 2 temps, 3 temps. It was
like Nat's cock.
Everything, everything just came together. It was a bit of experience, not pushing too hard when I didn't need to. And and the BRSCC sort of scared me a bit because they took out the rule where you can't drop any of the scores at the last round. So I've rocked up to the last round with like a 60-point lead, which normally I wouldn't even have to have done it, right? But you can score 100 points for a win. So if I have a DNF and James won, for example, I'm now 40 points behind. And I've won all these races. So the week before, I was like having sleepless nights, like thinking about what happens if the car breaks. So we literally changed everything. All the oils went out, checked everything. And at Donington, the round before, actually had quite a big shunt. So we like changed the subframe just in case. Like everything was just changing the rear suspension arms. Anything we could change, we changed. And thankfully, Rob interviewed me at the end of that last race, and that was my first senior championship. I
remember that. I'm pretty sure that was someone that was a bit miffed. I think it might have been James Cossins was involved, actually, because I remember sort of having the microphone chatting to someone, and then it was Patrick Fletcher and Will Blackwell Chambers around. And I remember James Cossins getting a bit shirty about something. It's like, come on, calm down, James, I'm live. Just calm down.
It sounds like James.
I think someone had annoyed him, but it was so good to cover that. I only did a couple. It was normally would be your Richard John Niels and Scott would do it. But it was really good to kind of guest and do those races. But it was also a bloody nightmare as well because, of course, I'm watching on my phone. So you're watching the action there. You've got TSL there, and the race is that close. You literally have, like, you lot scrapping at the front, and it would be like 6 to 10 cars for the lead. So I'm watching on TSL, and it would be last lap, but of course the footage is 30 seconds behind. And you want to be aware that if the top 3 drivers come in, if something epic's happened on the last corner, so you literally would not know, and I'll be scrambling trying to get the top 3, because more often than not, the top 3 that cross the line 1, 2 and 3 on the penultimate lap wouldn't be 1, 2 and 3 at the finish. Because they're too busy slipstreaming. It's so good, but that was... I think you're right. That was peak MX5 racing. Absolutely.
That year was
at its best.
That was the year that, for me, that's the best championship out of the 3 that I've won, just purely through the names that were in it, right? 2024 was the hardest championship, but 2023 was, for me, the coolest one, just because the amount of people that at the start of the year, there was no favourite, right? No one, and I don't think anyone really expected me to win because I hadn't been in it for a few years, and I'd come back to it, and I hadn't done too well in the Ginettas, so... I don't know. I came back and done some guest rounds in Mazdas in those 2 years, but to come back and win that year was brilliant, and I'll always remember those moments, for the rest of my life.
But what made 2024 more difficult? Was it that number 1?
Yeah, they changed the regs, so the tyre, we had a new tyre. The regs were a little bit different. There was a power steering thing where you could take the power steering off, and it was giving you like 12 horsepower, and I didn't take it off because I didn't like how it drove. But we had to take it off in the end, and it was just so tricky to drive the car. I didn't enjoy driving the car because it was, when a car's not made to have power steering, it's horrible.
So what are you doing? Just no fluids through it, just a dry rack, basically.
Yeah, you could take the rack apart and change some bearings and take some stuff out to make it a bit looser, but ultimately you just change the power steering pump, put just a normal belt pulley on it, and take the pipes off, and that was it. It was just a bit heavier. It was horrible to drive, and I didn't enjoy it. So that was that. I also wasn't meant to do the whole season. We got I had a TCR test with Rob Boston early in the year, and we'd basically done a deal where I was doing the second half of the season in TCR UK with Rob, and had a sponsor lined up. Everything was effectively sorted.
What was it? Was that the Audi?
Audi, yeah. So I'd have been in RS3. And it was effectively ready to go. The deal was done. Unfortunately, very late on, the main sponsor I had some issues with their company and effectively had to go bankrupt.
Wow.
So that was like, right, Aidan, we've had to pull the plug in your budget. And I was like, okay, well, that's not your fault, right? I didn't expect that to happen. So that was like, that would have been June time. So I wasn't going to do the second half of the Supercup season, but I was second in the championship, and we were like, let's see if we can win it again then. So changed some stuff on the car that I didn't like, and then rocked up for the last 4 rounds and won every race. So and won the championship, yeah.
And then it was a slightly different move at that point. You went over and did Miatas.
Yeah.
So
it wasn't necessarily, I wouldn't say it was my choice. It was a collective team decision. Basically, the calendars came out with MX5 Supercup and Miata Trophy. There's no way we could run both championships because there's 4 clashes, and I can't be in 2 places at once.
No.
Not with that many cars. We had people that were renting cars in both championships for the 2 previous years. So we were like, we're really going to have to make a decision on what we want to do. So I basically put it out to the customers. I was like, what championship would you prefer to do?
Yeah.
And the majority came back and said they wanted to do Miata Trophy. So instead of us having, say, 6 cars at the Supercup, 5 cars at Miata Trophy, or 6 cars at Miata Trophy, we ended up having 12 cars in one weekend. And that was fucking hard work.
Yep.
To be able to still earn the same amount of money, I had to basically
work twice as hard
on those weekends, and decided to race as well, which was a stupid idea. Because that went from 12 cars to now 13 that we're running, right? So,
and you're trying to get your head in race mode as well.
Yeah, but by that point, the rest for me was sitting in the car.
Yeah.
You know, the car ran itself. Dave was always looking after my car, so the car was fine. I didn't do any of the test days. I just turned up Saturday with my car, and I was there on Friday anyway, obviously with the lads,
just running the others,
running the cars. So I just rock up for quali, and I was like, well, I'm only going to be watching. I may as well just join in.
It's my ball, and I want to play with it.
I'll only be putting the pit board out. I may as well have my number on it. So I decided to race last year, and yeah, we won that championship as well, which was cool to win 3 in a row. So yeah, and then at the end of last year, I was like, I think that's it. That's it for now. Definitely.
So I mean, you're obviously still running the cars in Supercup and Miata Trophy. You're very much hands-on running the team.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah.
But the getting behind the seat stuff has changed. You're doing GT stuff.
Yeah.
So is
Is
this a natural progression? You're looking to get more into GT racing, or is it just an opportunity that came up?
I think career-wise, yeah, obviously, it is a natural progression. I think we had Michael Nibbs, who's done loads of Mazda racing with us. Like I said, was one of our first customers. Yeah. He bought this G55 Ginetta from James Blake Baldwin.
Okay.
Small world.
Oh yes.
These are pub talks, aren't they?
Yeah,
literally.
Like 2-3 years ago, and there was nowhere really that we wanted to race it. Brit car didn't look that great a couple of years ago. GT Cup's very expensive.
Yeah.
And then Brit cars had a bit of a resurgence with GT4 cars. And we were like, let's have a go at that. And let's go and do it properly for a year. So we decided we'd done the last round last year at Brands and done really well. And we were like, yeah, that's probably where we want to be for next season. So yeah, Nibsy and Safe Sight Facilities, his company there, he's got me in the car as the pro effectively. And we're running the car. So, which is tricky, you know, because I'm not necessarily used to it. Obviously I ran the Ginetta, my own one years ago. There's a GT5. The G55s are
a big step
a lot
up.
more to it. Yeah. A lot more to it engineering wise, setup wise.
Yeah.
Loads of I'm not used to running aero, so changing the wing angle and just driving it and seeing how that changes. So yeah, we've decided to go and do that for this season. And I think we'll probably be doing it for a few years, hopefully. And it might be a progression we take with the team where maybe I buy a team one and rent one out, and then we've got 2 cars at Brit Car. The Mazdas are obviously that's the cash cow for us. That's the bread and butter. We'll stay doing that for as long as we can. But if I can progress my team and start doing some GT stuff, then why not? You know, it's definitely a goal. And the driving of the car is amazing. Like to drive a GT car with aero, slicks and aero. I've got used to slicks now. It's so much fun, man. It's unbelievable just the speeds you can go and how well they stop and the corner speeds through like the old hairpin, for example, at Donington. Like we're like 90, 95 plus through there. Druids at Alton Park, the double right. At the weekend, we're turning in an MX5 because I was there last weekend. The boys are turning in like 80 and Apex in it just under 80. Apex in the GT4 is 99 to 95 mile an hour. So it's like some serious speed. And you don't want to go off around there, you know, these corners. So to drive the car is amazing. The racing side of it, we haven't had a great start to the season. We had a DNF at Alton and got taken out at Donington. So the first 2 rounds have been pretty shit. And I actually haven't done much racing yet, but I'm not sure GT racing suits my style of racing because I love one make series and I love getting your door in and
the 20 minutes of
20 minutes
absolutely
mental,
just send it, not
not
for a long day.
Yeah.
You've got to go, we've got to play this long game now.
And
But it's almost pack racing as well.
Yeah. I love sprint racing. I love one make racing. I think it's really hard to beat when that's all you've done.
Mm.
You know, it's really tricky to then go and do class racing and enjoy it because it's completely different. How you've got to set up an overtake on a faster car to try and overtake them is so much different than just sending one up the inside.
It's your race management changes, doesn't it?
Yeah, and they're hour-and-a-half races as well. So you're not trying to drive flat out at 100%. You're driving at 90%, and you're just driving. In my head, I just drive to a lap time. So I set myself a lap time. I'm like, right, if I do that every lap, fine. You know,
good, yeah.
And it's different. It's a completely different type of racing. It's really cool. And like I said, I'm enjoying it, and we're going to Spa in 2 weeks. So
yeah, baby.
I've never been, right? I've never been to Spa. I've never seen the track. So I'm really looking forward to. That's a bucket list thing, right?
Yep.
Race a GT car around Spa is just, that's what we all dream of. So I'm looking forward to that.
He's going to have a full Ricky Bobby moment going around there.
Yeah.
So if there is any one make series in the UK that any one make series in general, anything that you would aspire to go and do, what would that be? You say kind of more one make series style, but would something like Euro NASCAR or something maybe appeal?
I tested one and did the driver recruitment program in 2018.
Right.
So I went over to France, done a test, and there was like a subsidised drive sort of thing. We still had to raise a fair bit of budget to do it, but we were seriously looking at it.
But what sort of budget are you looking at for that? So
I think the full budget is like, back then would have been 100 grand.
Okay.
Bloody hell.
120,000 euros maybe. And the offer that we had was like 45,000 that we had to raise to do a whole season in the Pro 2 class, I think they said class. But I don't have that sort of money. Right? And it's not a lot of money for racing, I know that, but it's still a lot of money to raise. And I tried finding some sponsors and stuff, but it was just tricky to come up with that sort of. So
plus, I suppose with your own NASCAR, you kind of it's trying to go to a sponsor in the UK and go, well, we're going to do some tracks around the UK. It's a very niche race series.
Yeah.
I suppose it's probably only now it's got the full-on official sign-off and affiliation with NASCAR themselves. That it's maybe got a bit of clout behind it.
It's a hard sell, right?
It is,
although American Speedfest is probably one of the biggest weekends in the UK.
I would say so,
right? It's huge.
But they're going to be looking at it's just one weekend. Whereas if you've got a company like a lot of the European companies where you can go and race and we're not fighting with EU laws,
It was that was a hard sell. I love NASCAR. I'm a massive NASCAR fan, so that for me was a dream to even get involved. But to just do the test day was cool, you know. Just to drive one was sick. It was. So I think he said it was an old like Arca car.
Yeah, I've driven one of those.
Yeah, so it was an old Arca car with a different shell. So I was like, this is cool. You know, I was driving it around some weird track in France. Nothing I've never heard of.
They are so stiff, aren't they?
Oh my god! And I'd never driven left-hand drive before.
Neither had I.
So I've never driven left-hand drive. I've only been driving on the road at that point probably 2 or 3 years. And I was just driving on the grass everywhere. The car's huge, right?
Yeah.
It's a NASCAR. It's massive. And I'm just like driving. I was like, what's that fucking thing? Oh, I'm on the grass. But it was really cool. It was really fun. I enjoyed it. And it would be something I would aspire to doing. But I think in the UK, the next thing, as we spoke about earlier, I think Legends would be cool.
Well, you've had a couple of outings in Legends. So how did that come about? Would that be Gibbo twisting your arm? Or?
Not so much. No, the first one was a couple of years ago when they still had the 1250 Yamaha air-cooled, and Dad still didn't want to get involved.
He rolled his eyes when you told him. Really?
He was like, "Oh, what do you want to do that for?" But we'd done around with James Newbury, the two-mater car. Yeah. And I had John Higgins, who's part of our team. Okay. So he's won Legends a good few times and also won the World Championship of Legends. So he was helping us run the car, and we were seriously considering doing it because that was the end of 2024. So for 2025, we were like, right, let's go and do Legends. They're bringing the new engine out and that, but for one reason or another, I think the cars were a little bit too expensive at that time for me to buy, so we decided not to. And then I randomly rang Will about a week before Brands GP, and I was like, "Is there any cars available?
Any danger?"
We're there with the Mazdas anyway. Is there any cars available? And he came back to me a few days later and he said, "Look, I found you a car. It's my old car."
So he's left you cooking. He knows that car's available. He said, "Let him stew on that."
He sold it, right? So he sold it to someone else.
Yeah, he did.
He didn't. The guy David couldn't fit in it properly, so he's
back up for sale.
Yeah. So I was like, all right, let's do it. Went out Friday. Only managed to do one session because something was wrong with the axle. It broke. Went out for practice.
That was definitely one of Will's. Then he got that.
Yeah, that's what everyone said, right? Will's always breaking axles. I was like, all right.
He did that with the Sue Driver car when we did the podcast.
Yeah. So broke the axle on Friday. We welded it up ourselves because we ran the car all weekend. We just did it all ourselves because we got plenty of experience. Dave Longhurst was there. Lawrence Davey came and joined as well.
Fair play.
Lawrence, yeah. Lawrence came and helped run the car. So it was had my dad, Dave Longhurst, and Lawrence run the car. So we were in good hands.
Pretty good.
Yeah. So yeah, first session on Friday, axle broke. Took it out, welded it up, put it back in for practice. Broke the other side. So for fuck's sake, so I actually missed the first race. But I had to start off the back in every race because I was a rookie, right? So you have to start last in every race in Legends if it's your first round. So and I missed the first race. Went out in the second race. Car was mint, brilliant. Got up to sixth. Got taken out. So DNF in that one. And then I was like, well, I've got to have some luck this year. Right? I've had a shit season in Brit car. Surely this Legends can't be that bad. And went out for the final. Started 20th. And it started raining. Perfect.
Here we go.
It rained on the assembly area, so everyone did manage to get wets on. But we gambled on wets anyway.
Yeah.
So we put wets on. Everyone ended up on wets. And I was leading after 4 laps.
Good man.
Yeah. And then I was like, oh, sweet. It was sort of half wet, half dry. And I was pulling away. And then it proper pissed down. And I was like, right, I don't even know.
They're fucking awful.
I can't even see where I'm going. I've got a tinted visor on. Like, it's dark. It's so dark. I can't see where I'm going. I'm like, fucking hell. On the brakes, locking up, and I was like, looked in the mirror. You can't see anything out the mirrors, and there's 2 cars gone past me. I'm like, where the fuck did they come from? And then I started
one of Will's dodgy screens where it turns off and on and off and on.
No, I didn't even have any mirrors when I rocked up. So when we turned up on Friday, I sat in the car. I was like, there's no mirrors here. So thanks to Luke Simmons, because he actually got me some mirrors and sorted the engine and everything out. So thanks to Luke for sorting that out on the Friday. But yeah, so in this race, it's pissing down with rain. 2 of the quicker lads come past me because I somehow got to, because I'm starting at the back, right? But
yeah.
All of the quick lads start at the back as well because they do full reverse grid for race 3. So I was kind of thinking the finals are where I've got my best chance because they're all starting with me. So I didn't expect to get to the front first. And I know Brands GP very well, and I know Brands in the wet very well. So I was kind of had a bit of an advantage on most people, I think.
Mm-hmm.
So anyway, yeah. So these lads came back past me. I was back in second and back to third, and then I think I went back to fourth, and then I just sort of said to myself, like, just what the fuck are you doing? Just concentrate. You're just driving the car in the wet. Stop overthinking it. And then the last 2 laps, I managed to get back up, and then I was actually leading coming out the last corner on the last lap, which apparently is the last thing you want to do.
Yeah, you don't want to be there.
So I've watched a lot of legend races, obviously. Not enough, unfortunately. So I've gone up the inside into the last corner, and the 2 lads just bumped right past me. So that was annoying. Came third, which I was pretty happy with, to be honest. You know?
Yeah.
Still not a bad result.
Did you get a bucket hat?
Nah, I didn't, because I only had. They do overall results, don't they? So it's your 3 points, 3 races overall for your podium, and I only finished 1. And the Sunday was good as well. I think we had a P7, but I was only like, I think it was literally like 7 tenths from winning. It was everyone was everyone. You know, it was one of those classic legend races.
And racing in front of that crowd as well, 23,000 I think it was.
Yeah, that was cool. That was really cool. Second race I got up to 5th, and the car broke, which was no one's fault. It was just one of those things. Then the final came third again, so that was good. Yeah, and I loved it to the point where I have been looking at buying one. So
just not that one.
To be honest, I would buy that one. Yeah, I would. It's just the problem is when you run a race team, calendars, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
Calendars just fuck you. So get to the end of the season, and then I'm judging spinning plates that we got Brit car, BRSCC, Miata trophy. So I've got 3 calendars there that I'm waiting to see if there's any clashes, right?
Yeah.
And then I put Legends in there as well, and I'm basically never at home. So in an ideal world, the Legends and Miata trophy both run by MSV, they run on the same weekends.
That'd
That'd
be
be brilliant. Yeah, that's 2 birds with 1 stone.
But then Legends also run on the Toka package,
Toka.
and they run GT World Challenge, and everyone wants
and
Legends.
Speen Fest, yeah.
Yeah,
So
you'd be looking at maybe just Elite Cup for that then.
potentially, yeah, or just fucking the team off. just quit my job and go and race Legends. Yeah,
Yeah, why not?
No.
Why not?
So I can't make any decisions till I see the calendars. If the calendars are nice to us, then I definitely want to do it. And even Annie, my girlfriend, was like, "This is so much better. Why don't you do this?" You know? She doesn't. She understands motorsport a fair bit now because she's been with me for a few years. But she was like, "This is amazing. This is so much better than all the racing." She was watching GT World Challenge. She was like, "This is the most boring thing she's ever watched." And then she was like, "Everyone's watching the Legends and cheering and loving it."
Everyone loves Legends.
It's what I want to do. And like I said, I grew up in the paddock, so
Yeah.
there's still people there. Like John Mickle raced with my dad, and he's still racing now. So
I think John's going to forever race, to be honest with you.
yeah, so he was one of the first. He would have raced with my dad in the 90s, right? So it's pretty cool. I raced against him last weekend, but it's definitely something I'd look at and I want to do. It's just the calendars could.
Need to get you on something oval. See what you think of that.
Oh man, I'd love anything to do with racing. To be honest, anything. I just want to race.
You do strike me as a very, very versatile driver.
Yeah, maybe. I don't know. I just get in a car and drive it and see how it goes, really. And then just enjoy it. Like, I love racing. I love all racing. I always have done. My dad actually did race hot rods for a few years, so that's another thing that.
But the nationals.
2 litres.
Nice.
And obviously with knowing Dave Longhurst, I used to go and watch him racing a lot.
Dave's another one you should have on here because that man has won everything.
Yeah.
Definitely,
Yeah,
we'll get him on the list.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Yeah, that'd be cool. He has won everything. Yeah.
He literally has.
I was there.
He won. It was literally him winning everything when I was growing up.
Yeah. I remember because my dad and Dave, he's from Worthing, so we know him really well.
How come you never raced at did any of the other stuff down at Worthing? Because you could race pretty much anything down there. Jim let anything run.
Yeah, he did. We nearly did so many times. It was just I was karting and then doing rallycross, so there was no real. Yeah, I always wanted to, but I was more interested in Speedworth really.
Yeah,
and I would have loved to have done 2 litre hot rods. Okay. And to be honest, I watched some 1400 stock car racing and it just looks so much fun, doesn't it? Just smashing into each other. I think I'd enjoy stuff like that. But 2 litre hot rods for me is probably like what I would do if I did ovals.
Okay.
Nationals are a bit big and fast and expensive. 2 litres.
2 litres aren't far off now though.
That's expense-wise,
stock rods.
No, I suppose not. Yeah.
Yeah, big time money.
Yeah.
If you want to go waste loads of money, go and race stock cars.
It's true. Yeah, and you have to race all the time as well. They're out like every 10 days, every 2 weeks they race, don't they? It's a lot of race.
I fancy the super stock.
Yeah.
It's weird, but yeah, they're cool.
Yeah, they are awesome.
Thought my granddad used to race stock rods, super stocks. So yeah, that's
nice.
the sort of background. That's how come I got into it. So yeah, ovals, love it.
Yeah, I do love it. And like I said, I've been down to Aldershot. Used to go to Eastbourne a lot to watch because when I lived down there, it wasn't too far to go on a Wednesday night.
Yeah.
And yeah, it is cool. It's just
racing under the lights is another cool thing. I haven't got to do it.
Wimbledon used to be the one.
The Don.
Yeah, we used to go up there quite a lot. Dad used to take me up there on a Sunday evening, wasn't it?
Sunday evening, yeah. New Year's Day, Boxing Day, big van bangers.
Yeah, it was good. Did you watch much oval racing, Rob?
Not as much as I probably should have done back in the day, but I can appreciate it and the history of it. And to be honest, I think a lot of people don't realise what oval racing has given UK circuit racing as well.
God, given us Formula 1 drivers, mate.
Yeah. Derek Warwick.
Amazing. It's amazing, yeah. And he was out in Mazda the other day.
Yeah, he was.
Yeah, he's a nice guy.
Martin Brundle's oval.
Yeah. So it's a lot of people kind of look at. There was actually an old podcast looking at with Derek Warwick when he was talking about what he used to do back in the day, and I think a lot of circuit racing drivers that have come from an oval background, I think they do get a lot of shit from people because if they get involved in an altercation, it's a dirty stock car driver. But if they do a good race, I mean, let's be honest. Let's talk about the British touring cars this weekend, right?
Yep.
Ricky fucking Collard, what a boy!
Yeah, he's class, isn't he?
What a boy!
Yeah.
And I think the way he drove that car, and he's hassling a 4-time champion and 3-time champ, he does not give a shit. But he's a champion in himself. He's a British GT champion. He's a character. We need more of that in motorsport.
Touring cars have lost characters, isn't it, really?
Yeah. we said it got a little bit too vanilla, a little bit too corporate, trying to get the sponsors.
Do you know what it is? Yeah, do you know what I mean? And all the hospitality and that's there.
Yeah. Whereas, to be honest with you,
everyone's trained.
You look at some of the best drivers and they all come from characters, and then you want to be associated with that driver, and that's good for your brand.
Yeah.
Well, yeah. Well, now Plato Racing's back in it this year, and we've had many conversations about it and stuff like that. I mean, what's your thoughts on touring cars this year?
Every year, I think there's no announcements, is there? And then you get round to the season, and it is all right, but it just isn't what it used to be, and it's too much money basically because you don't get many new drivers going into it now, because bottom line is you just cannot afford it, right? And it isn't the pinnacle of British motorsport in terms of talent. I don't think. I think there's probably 10 drivers there that are there because they're very good. Yeah. And there's probably 10 drivers there that are there because they've got a lot of money, right?
Oh, yeah.
But the front pack are brilliant, and I raced against Mikey Doble, so I know how good he is, right? I know how good these lads are. And Ash Sutton's probably is a generational talent. Like, he's unbelievable. He's won everything he's ever done.
I don't think he's going to do it this year.
Ingram the same. He's unbelievable. And now we even mentioned Collard, like how good he is.
Well, Ricky's come in and just been like, I can mix it with you boys.
Yeah, and again, do you know what I mean? You shouldn't be able to do that. But
and again, Ricky was on the ladder to F1.
Yeah, yeah, and they're obviously an oval racing family, right?
Yep.
So, there's some serious talent in that grid, but there isn't enough, if you know what I mean. For a pinnacle of British motorsport, it should be 25, 26 of the best drivers in the country doing it. And that's when our sport is wrong, right? Because if you had the Premier League of footballers or the World Cup, for example, or something like that, it is the best footballers in the world doing that. Yeah. Formula One isn't the best racing drivers in the world, as we all know.
No.
And British Touring Cars has got some of the best drivers in the country, but not all of them. You know, there's plenty of drivers there that. There's plenty of drivers who should be on that grid that haven't ever been able to make it. You're right, and there's people.
Yeah, I agree with you on that one.
Plenty of drivers I've raced against, even karting, right, who were unbelievable and have never raced since because they just haven't got the budget. You know, there's plenty of lads out there that, and that's when the sport just ruins.
It fails itself, doesn't it?
Yeah, I think it does. Yeah, and I still think there are drivers in club motorsport that, like you said, not just. You will probably find some of the best drivers in the country in club motorsport.
Yeah, probably. Yeah.
Working I agree with you on that one.
Yeah. There's no doubt to that. Really, they're just it's just how it goes, isn't it? And if you can't get hold of the budget, then you won't get to race at a high level. Yeah. It doesn't mean you don't enjoy your racing, right? I've never been able to get hold of any budget, but for me, MX5 racing was the best I could afford and the best I could do, and I was lucky that the years I did it was really competitive and really good.
Yeah.
But yeah, going back to touring cars, I think it is almost sometimes too artificial as well with
the boost
thing, and we all know if the car's slow, they're suddenly quick at the next round, and
yes.
But it doesn't stop us from watching every week, does it?
No. We still enjoy it because I don't know. We still hang on to a little bit of what went on before, but I still enjoy it. I'll still sit there of a Sunday and watch all 3 races.
There's certainly a bit of Neil now.
And it's coming back. It is coming back. The last few years have been, like you said, vanilla-ish.
Yeah.
But there's definitely a turn this last year. I definitely enjoyed the races of the weekend. Race 2 was brilliant, right?
Yeah.
I just need to put some sprinklers on the tracks more often.
I think so. Race 2 was chaos, and then of course it's now come out since Pete Osborne, Napa Racing UK. He's now going to the stewards.
So basically, what happened? Let's not cover. Let's do this properly. So
he basically stormed into the Plato Racing camp and went, "I want to." Beat 7 bells out of Robo.
Yeah, so Robo didn't see the yellows according to the thing.
Yeah.
And then come up the inside. And I think there was a little bit of a squeezing from Sam unnecessarily. Robo can't stop the car. He's going to go straight on. If you try and block him, I don't know quite what you're doing. That's a bit silly.
Yeah, wasn't he on wets and Osborne was on slicks as well?
Yeah, and it was a bit antagonistic, in my opinion. But you don't need to go. And then, so basically, I understand you've got the thing with Camish and Robottom the way he left last year, which we touched on, which was basically the middle finger. I'm not fucking dealing with you anymore. And then Pete obviously didn't like that very much and tried to have a pop at JP, which probably isn't the cleverest thing to do considering they're filming their whole season for the documentary. So there's CCTV and microphones and cameras everywhere. And then basically he just massive own goal. Yeah. If you're going to do it in the motorhome.
Yeah, because I think now, unfortunately, in this day and age where you've got the race of respect thing going on, that's now going to end up probably in front of the National Court. You got a £1,000 fine, but the other bit that was ticked by the clerk on the sheet that they sort of discloses it is going to the steward, like
Yeah, they're not. They don't take kindly to that anymore, do they?
So
at that level as well, you do have to kind of bite your tongue with that sort of stuff. But at the end of the day, for Pete, that's his son, right? That he's taken out.
So he's now taken. That's the personal side of it.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I think it probably doesn't come from a team owner point of view.
No, that's a dad.
You fired my son off under a yellow flag. And if you watch not that I haven't seen any onboards, but if you watch the video of Osborne going in the gravel, there's two marshals just about to go and see Charles, right?
Yeah.
So
because Charles
is in the gravel. If he opens his door as well, he gets a car in it, and there's two marshals stood at the end of the wall ready to go and go there. So
there's lots of variables to this. High tension.
Yeah,
I think you might see a slight adjustment maybe in how they deal with those incidents going forward.
But in America, that's a big thing, isn't it? You're always fighting after races. Brilliant. You go and watch a NASCAR race.
This weekend, wasn't it? It was Suarez and Hocevar.
I haven't seen it yet.
Actually. I watched the clip of it this morning.
Well, like punching each other?
In the car. He's like, Daniel Suarez, go fuck off, am I letting him past again?
I'm sorry, there is only one headline from this weekend, and of course it's my favourite driver, the GOAT, Mr. SVG. What a driver.
What a guy.
What a driver. Honestly.
Class. If it wasn't going to be Reddick or Chastain, it was going to be...
But to go from, 29 seconds down with that many laps to go, and just to drive, and that was him, that was his racing in V8s, that was sheer class, that was a multiple Bathurst winner.
Yeah.
Oh, mate, let's be honest.
And I don't think those NASCARs are too far away from what a V8 used to be.
No.
The sequentials and that now.
They used for the new for the new supercars. They actually used
a lot. There was a lot of cross information going across. So
that was good. But it was good. I've seen that, and Bubba doing Bubba things again and having another argument after the race. This time with Christopher Bell as well.
Yeah.
It's Bubba doing Bubba things.
Yeah. Seeing with that mixed up with all the club motorsport, who the fuck needs Formula One? Yeah. Honestly,
I don't know.
I struggle watching it.
Thank you.
but I do.
You want to talk about it every week, though, don't you?
I know.
I do watch it, but
I can't talk about it anymore. People call me fat.
Oh, do they? What's I got to do Formula One?
Just people on the internet.
That's very nice, isn't it?
I know.
That's quite good. You said Formula One is not the pinnacle.
Pinnacle, and everyone's just like, that guy's fat.
Yeah, and then you pop out and say British touring cars isn't the pinnacle of...
Well, no, it is. It is. I said I don't think some of the drivers are. Where, like I said, if you compare it to another sport, you only have the top people of the sport at the top.
That's why I think motorsport's different from every other sport around the world. If you talk about the top performers in each, so footballers, and they play in the Premier League and they play in the other Champions League, those are the elite guys in their sport. In motorsport, we don't have it because it's not done on talent alone. It is literally done on who you know and how much money you've got in your back pocket.
Yeah, it is. You're right. I mean, some people do get there on talent, right?
Yeah.
Yep. And so some of the greatest have gone through on just talent.
Yeah. And rightly so. But you still have to borrow still to have a chance.
Without the backers, let's look at people like Max Verstappen. Without the backers, he had a famous dad.
Yeah.
Generational talent, but without having the backers, he wouldn't have got there. Lando Norris, without a wealthy father, wouldn't have got there.
Yeah.
Even Lewis, to a point, without Ron, he wouldn't have got there.
No.
So it is...
I know they would just be, working at Tesco or
they all,
you wouldn't even know who they are.
Yeah. I mean, the people can slate Lewis all they want, but he did grow up in Stevenage and he didn't come from a wealthy family.
Yeah.
He's a 7-time world champion.
Exactly, right? So it doesn't matter how much money you've got. If you've got the desire and the talent to do it, if you can harness them, you can move them forward.
100%.
It's just we need to be lucky in terms of finding...
You do need to be lucky at the same time.
It's just become easier for people to buy seats now.
I agree with you.
That's all it is it probably years ago you still had to be pretty decent as well, but now it's like if you've got enough money, you'll drive a car. If you really want to, you can drive a car. There's plenty of lads now that if they turned up with millions of pounds would probably still be able to get a decent seat in F1 if they were young enough and had enough budget and done enough junior stuff. If they're not that good, they'll still be able to get there if they had the right back.
I agree with you on that.
Same with GT racing, right? That there is some unbelievable factory drivers.
Yeah.
There is some unbelievably fast lads that probably are better than Formula 1 drivers, but they're doing GT3.
Yeah.
Yep.
And to me, GT racing now is probably a much better level than F1.
Yep.
Yeah.
Completely agree with you.
The talent pool's huge, isn't it?
Yeah.
And to be honest, if you think about it, there's more manufacturers involved. I mean, endurance racing, GT and World
WEC,
Endurance.
Yeah, it's brilliant. Isn't it?
It transpires. It's more road to use. The technologies they can use.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And the racing's good, man.
Yeah, very good.
Wasn't too good at brands last week, but forget about that. But that was only, I was just stood there on the bank thinking, this is cool for the first 20 minutes.
Yeah.
And then I got quite bored.
Yeah, it's just
I think BOP just kind of opens it up.
But then like Nürburgring or something like that's amazing, isn't it? You know,
Bathurst 12 hours, start of the year, fantastic.
Unbelievable.
Do you think it's the circuits that suit that style of racing?
I think so.
Yeah,
I think
some
it's a bit
circuits
of that as well.
it doesn't suit.
Yeah, and they do have a fair bit of aero wash, these high GT.
Do you think brands isn't suited to the GT cars?
No.
Mate, in any other car it feels quite big, and in Legend it feels massive.
I bet it does.
But in a GT3 car it looked tiny.
Yeah,
it
it's really narrow.
It's narrow, right? And
Yeah.
people were trying to do moves, but it's just so easy to defend. You know, we've all raced at brands.
Or you're going to end up semi-punting a Porsche off like what happened around the back.
Yeah.
And there's no runoff, is there? It's a big shunt.
No.
Yeah.
Anywhere around there, you do not want to be going off.
And GT World Challenge have had some massive shunts on the GP circuit.
GT Cup have had some big ones down there as well.
Yeah,
any GT car.
Yeah.
But then if it's not going to be at brands, where would you have it?
Silverstone.
Donington,
Really? Donington.
surely.
Yeah, but I think it's cool being at brands.
Yeah.
I love Brands
Brands is-
GP. It's one of my favourite circuits. That and Donington Park in the UK. They're
For me, Brands GP is my favourite circuit. I haven't yet been to Spa, so I'll let you know in a few minutes. But
Right.
Brands GP is my favourite track. That and Alton Park, you know.
This is mega, isn't it?
Yeah.
Just changes the whole place.
Yeah, but the Indy is pretty boring. And then when you turn left and go up the hill from Surtees, I'm like, fuck.
It changed.
Tighten up your belts.
I was-
Here we go.
I was lucky enough. I did race on it once, and it was so I've never really got on with Brands Indy. I don't know why. I've just never gelled with the circuit.
Yeah.
But my first proper good result there last year in modified Ford's case. But when that one time I raced there on the GP, I retired from race 2. Didn't give a don't you fucking start.
One time a banker.
But no, it's like you say. You go up round the back, and it changes the whole circuit for me. I don't know what it is. Just that extra bit bolted on.
You know what it is, right? It's like when the dogs. He's allowed around the garden, and then he gets out through the gate.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's exactly right.
it was allowed to
Exactly
run.
right, yeah.
It's around the Indy. You don't really get to run.
But do you know what? Even doing the track walk the night
Fucking
before.
long way. Jesus Christ.
It
It's
is.
hillier than you think and all.
Exactly. That was it. It was the hill.
I always just start it at Surtees.
Yeah.
I
know
need to
this
worry
bit,
about them three. Yeah.
And it's just like, holy shit, that's a big drop down there. And then you go back uphill. Oh, I've got to brake at that point. Okay.
Yeah. And it's all blind, right? You go up the Sheen curve. You're like, where's the corner?
Yeah.
There it is.
is. Too late.
Drops away. There
Yeah.
we go. Wick. I love it. Absolutely epic.
It is. It is just a different. Like I always think it's special when you turn left there and go up the hill. That's a special feeling because you don't get to do it often. No. You know, you could go to Brands, you could go to Silverstone. Your Brands Indy, Silverstone, Donington. You can go there any day of the week. Right?
Yeah.
Brands GP is only open very few days a year.
Yeah.
So to be able to be one of the very few people that get to race there every year, it is great.
It is a privilege. Yeah. It is an absolute privilege.
Yeah, I love it.
We're very lucky to do that.
Very much so. One final thing before we wrap up.
Yep.
Oh,
So
no,
we've
sir.
no.
We're not
We have got the we've got the top 10/11 shootouts come. Don't worry about that.
Yeah, don't you?
One final thing on the sort of the main podcast. The one thing that you've said all along through your whole story, your dad has been there, ever present, and your grandfather.
Yep.
How special has that been? And especially now, running a team, you're effectively running a team together.
Yeah, run a business together, everything, yeah.
How special is that?
It's brilliant. And do you know what? I've always said that me and my dad are more like mates than father and son. We're like best friends.
And you can see that in the paddock, to be fair.
I speak to him every day. We work together. Like he's gone to Snet today because we've got a car out tomorrow. So he's gone to do that. And we just have a laugh, man. It's so good. We spend so much time together. Not many father and sons really get to spend that much time together until you look at motorsport. And there's so many people like us, you know. And that's what, you know, sport brings us together. And it is special. It's really cool. And we've got a really good relationship. And I know lots of people haven't got their parents and stuff now. So I know how privileged I am and how lucky I am to have a dad that's so supportive of my career, and he thinks I'm the best racing driver in the world, you know.
Dads
so
do that.
Yeah, they do that, right? So he's really great to have in my corner and so supportive and financially and physically. You know, he's always built my race cars, paid for it, everything until I could pay for it myself. So, and even now, everything goes through the business, doesn't it? So.
Yeah.
So it's half his money anyway.
Oh, I bet your mum
Fantastic.
loves it.
Well, it's I must apologise, ladies and gentlemen, because we have had guests on. Well, not quite recently, but we've forgotten to do the top 10 shootout.
You jumped the gun a little bit.
I've jumped the gun a little bit. Plus, we've actually forgot to get the shootout like printed off or sorted out because me and Scott are busy. We've got shit to do. Sorry about that. But anyway, So, are you ready for your first top 10/11 shootout?
Let's go.
Far away, Scott.
Red sauce or brown sauce?
Red.
Tea or coffee?
Neither.
Really?
Don't drink hot drinks.
Oh, okay.
No, sorry. If I had to choose, it'd be coffee to keep me awake.
Good lad. Right. Movies or books?
Movies.
Yeah, because racing drivers can't read.
I can't read.
Nah. Race weekend or boys weekend? But
Race weekend.
Yeah, you probably get the best of both, wouldn't you?
Yeah, they're both the same thing, isn't it?
Yeah.
Text or voice note?
I like a voice note.
See.
If you could have someone narrate your life, who would it be?
Ooh. Rob Lewis.
Ooh. Thank you very much.
Brown nose. One lap shootout, what track and versus who?
Ooh, that's a really good one.
I'll let you pick the car as well.
MX5. MX5 brand GP against Max Verstappen.
Fair.
Oh, good man.
4 laps, it'd beat you by 2 seconds. Wet race or dry race?
Wet.
Good lad. Manual or paddle shift?
Manual.
Good lad. Right. If your car could make one noise when you hit the throttle pedal, what would it be?
And it cannot be an engine noise.
Ooh.
We've had some strange answers.
If it can make what? Say that again.
If your throttle pedal could make any noise when you pressed it, what would you have it be? We've had we've had all sorts.
Fuck yeah.
And that is a top 10/11 shootout. Aiden Hills, it's been an absolute pleasure to get you down here.
Is that just going to be a fuck yeah or fuck yeah?
That one.
That one.
Yeah.
Down the Camel Straight.
Fucking hold your breath, mate. Gonna have to lift off halfway.
Oh. What a show this has been, Aiden Hills. Thank
Cheers,
you
boys.
so much for coming down.
I'll have to come back.
Definitely have to come back and bring Ali Bray with you.
Yeah, we'll get Ali on next time. Yeah.
We were.
Yeah, you can't be scared now.
No, I don't. I think he's just busy, isn't he?
He's a busy boy.
Yeah,
he's got a busy. Yeah, he's
it's a hard life, you know. He's running MX5 teams as well and being the Ibiza final boss.
Kids as well.
Yeah, kids as well.
Yeah, I don't have that yet, thankfully.
Give it time.
Yeah.
Right.
Give it
So,
time.
is that us? Are we going to jump on the sim now?
I think we might have to jump on the sim and fuck around. But for the moment, I've been Rob Lewis. This man has been Scott Evans. Thank you very much to our guest, Mr. Aiden Hills. And that is all from us. Another great episode. We'll see you next week.
Bye.
Thank you.
Bye,
Cheers.
everyone.